Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be exploring Forever Strong by Dr. Gabrielle Lyon.
Okay.
Now, if you're listening, I'm assuming aging well is something you think about.
Yeah,
And this book kind of caught my eye
I know, me too.
because it takes this muscle-centric approach.
Really interesting.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
Dr. Lyon is saying muscle is practically like a longevity organ. It impacts like everything.
Oh, wow.
From your metabolism to inflammation.
Really?
So we're going to see what she has to say.
Okay, cool. So,
Dr. Leon really kind of flips the script on how we think about muscle,
yeah,
It's not just about how we look or being super athletic.
right.
She's arguing that it's like vital for our health and for
Mhm.
living longer as we age.
So it's not just for show then.
Yep.
It's more like functional muscle.
Exactly. It's like this metabolically active organ.
Oh, wow.
One of her main points is that muscle helps to regulate your blood sugar.
Okay.
It's like a sponge.
Soaking up all that extra glucose from your blood.
Oh, that makes sense.
And this is huge for preventing insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, especially as we get older.
Wait, so better blood sugar from having more muscle?
Mhm.
I can already see how that would tie into like feeling more energetic,
Yeah.
maybe even sleeping better.
For sure.
But how much muscle are we talking here?
Well,
Does everyone have to become a bodybuilder?
that's where the protein prescription comes in. Okay. Dr. Lyon recommends 1.2 to 2 grams of protein
Wow.
per kilogram of body weight every day.
Every day.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's really specific about this
Why is that?
because protein is the building block of muscle.
Oh,
And most people just aren't getting enough,
especially you.
especially as they get older.
Okay, so two things are jumping out at me already.
Yeah, what are those?
One, I need to pay way more attention to my protein.
Yeah.
And two, I'm guessing hitting the gym is going to be part of this.
You're on the right track. She's all about resistance training. So that could be lifting weights,
Okay.
using resistance bands,
Yeah.
or even just doing body weight exercises.
Okay.
But she also says that low-impact stuff is important,
Like what?
like walking or swimming.
Yeah.
To keep your flexibility and mobility, which are really important as you get older.
So it's like a two-pronged approach then.
Yeah,
Build the strength and maintain your ability to move freely.
exactly.
This is making a lot of sense.
Okay.
I am curious about the science behind it all, though.
Sure.
Does Dr. Lyon just make these claims, or does she back them up with research?
Oh, she's very thorough with the science.
Okay.
She goes deep into like the cellular mechanisms that drive muscle growth and repair,
Okay.
and how muscle cells release anti-inflammatory substances,
Right.
which helps to fight the effects of chronic inflammation.
Chronic inflammation.
Yes,
That sounds serious.
it can be.
It's not just like a temporary thing after you exercise, right?
No, chronic inflammation is like this slow burn in your body.
Oh!
It can contribute to aging and a bunch of different diseases.
Wow.
Just imagine your immune system, which is normally your protector,
Right.
stuck in the onopokey position.
Oh, gosh.
It starts to attack healthy tissues,
Mm.
and then that leads to all sorts of problems,
Like what?
like joint pain,
Okay.
fatigue,
Right.
digestive issues,
Oh, wow.
and even a higher risk for things like heart disease,
Hmm.
certain cancers,
Oh, no.
and Alzheimer's.
So muscle is like a secret weapon against this silent ager.
Exactly.
It's almost like this built-in defense system you have.
Yeah, it goes even deeper.
Oh, really?
Muscle has a big role in metabolizing nutrients,
Hmm.
and especially this one called leucine.
Leucine.
Yes,
That sounds familiar.
it's one of those amino acids,
Right.
and it's really important for building muscle.
Oh.
You can think of it as a trigger that kicks off muscle protein synthesis.
So like turning the key to start an engine
Exactly.
for muscle growth and repair,
Uh-huh.
which we really need as we get older. And the best way to make sure we're getting enough of this leucine
Yes.
is through those high-quality protein sources we talked about.
That's right.
Okay, so we've got the protein piece,
Right.
the exercise part.
Yes.
We're starting to see the science behind it all.
Good.
But Dr. Lyon doesn't just leave us with theory, does she? I feel like we're starting to put together like a blueprint for aging well.
Yeah.
We're seeing muscle as more than just like our biceps and triceps.
Yeah.
It's like this powerhouse influencing our whole system.
Exactly.
But what about actually putting this into practice?
Mhm.
Does Dr. Lyon give us the tools to actually make changes?
That's where the book really shines.
Oh, so.
It's not just theory. It's a practical guide.
Okay.
She gives you tons of useful tips on meal planning,
Like what?
like meal plan examples to make sure you're getting enough protein
Okay.
without just eating chicken breast and protein shakes all day.
Right, because no one wants to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like she knows we're going to ask, okay, but how? Uh-huh.
And she gives us a framework.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how does she approach exercise?
It's one thing to know you need to lift weights,
Right.
but what does that actually look like?
She's all about making it sustainable.
Okay.
So she gives you sample workout routines,
Mm-hmm.
from beginner body weight stuff you can do at home
Okay.
to gym routines if you're more experienced.
Okay, cool.
But she really emphasizes finding activities you actually enjoy,
That makes sense.
so you're more likely to stick with it.
Yeah.
Maybe you like hiking or swimming or dancing.
Right.
Those count too.
I like that.
It's all about moving your body in ways that feel good and work for your life.
I love that she emphasizes finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
between challenging yourself and actually enjoying it.
Yeah, you're not going to keep it up if it feels like a chore.
Exactly.
It has to be fun.
Okay, I want to shift gears a bit.
Okay.
We've talked about the physical stuff about aging,
Right.
but what about like mental and emotional resilience?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think those play a role?
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Lyon mostly focuses on physical strength.
Right.
She knows aging well is like a whole body thing.
Yeah.
Mental and emotional well-being are super important too.
It makes sense.
Life throws us curveballs.
Oh, yeah.
Having a positive mindset, strong social connections, and healthy ways to cope with stress
Yeah.
can really equip us to face those challenges
I like that.
with more grace and resilience.
It's like having that inner strength to deal with the ups and downs.
Exactly.
Which, let's face it, doesn't get easier as we get older.
Nope, definitely not.
This reminds me of something you said earlier.
What that?
Chronic inflammation.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Lyon says muscle helps us fight it.
Right.
I'm still not really clear on what it is.
Okay.
And why it's so bad.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
Because it's often a silent threat.
Okay.
You got to imagine your immune system,
Uh-huh.
which is usually protecting you.
Right.
It gets stuck in the on position
Ow.
and it starts attacking healthy tissues.
Oh, no.
And then that leads to a cascade of problems.
Like what kind of problems?
Joint pain,
Okay.
fatigue,
Uh-huh.
digestive issues,
Oh, wow.
even an increased risk for chronic diseases
Like what?
like heart disease, certain cancers, Alzheimer's.
So it's like this low-grade simmering that can really mess you up
Exactly.
over time.
Yeah.
And muscle helps regulate that inflammatory response.
Exactly. Muscle cells actually release these anti-inflammatory substances
Okay.
that help to counteract the damage.
So it's like a built-in peacekeeping force.
Exactly.
More muscle, less inflammation, better blood sugar control. It's all starting to connect.
Good.
I also remember Dr. Lyon talking about this amino acid,
Which one?
leucine.
Oh, yes.
Why is that so important again?
It's like the VIP of muscle growth.
Okay.
It's essential,
Meaning what?
meaning your body can't make it on its own.
Oh.
You have to get it from food. And what makes it so special is that it triggers muscle protein synthesis.
So it's not just any protein.
Right.
We need this specific one
Yeah.
to actually build and repair the tissue.
Yes. And here's the thing.
What's that?
As we age, our bodies get worse at using leucine.
Oh.
So it's even more important to make sure we're getting enough.
Okay.
And guess what?
What?
Those high-quality protein sources Dr. Lyon recommends,
Yeah.
like lean meats, eggs, fish,
Yeah.
they're all packed with leucine.
Perfect.
So it all works out.
Okay. So we're seeing protein is important,
Yes.
especially leucine,
Uh-huh.
and resistance training is key.
Yes.
Is there anything else Dr. Lyon suggests for supporting muscle health and longevity?
She talks about the potential benefits of some supplements,
Okay.
particularly to fill any nutritional gaps you might have.
That's where I think people get confused.
Yeah.
There are so many supplements out there.
I know it's overwhelming.
How do you know what actually works?
Right.
And what's just hype?
She really emphasizes a food-first approach,
Okay.
meaning you should focus on getting your nutrients from whole foods.
That makes sense.
But she also knows sometimes supplements can be helpful,
Yeah.
especially as we get older.
Okay.
For example, she talks about creatine,
Okay.
which helps with energy production in your muscle.
So it's not about popping a magic pill.
No.
It's about being strategic
Right.
and using supplements to complement a healthy diet and exercise,
Exactly.
working with your body and giving it the right tools
Uh-huh.
to thrive.
Yes. And Dr. Lyon gives you guidance on which supplements might help
Okay.
based on what you need.
It's like a personalized approach to aging.
It is.
We're not just following a generic set of rules. We're
Yeah.
figuring out how to tailor these principles to our own needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this book so empowering.
It does.
It's all about taking control of your own health
Yeah.
and making choices that support you long term.
This has been super insightful. We've
Yeah.
covered so much.
We have.
From muscle science to how to actually build strength,
Right.
managing inflammation, and even supplements.
Yes.
What are some key takeaways you hope listeners get from this?
I think the biggest thing is that we have more power over our health and aging
Yeah.
than we realize
Okay.
by focusing on muscle health, not just for how it looks,
Right.
but for how it impacts our whole body.
Yeah.
We can really up our chances of living longer, healthier lives.
And it's never too late to start.
Exactly.
No matter how old you are,
Right.
you can build and maintain muscle
Yes.
and get the benefits.
And this book really gives you the tools to do that.
Before we wrap up, though,
Yeah.
I'm curious about something.
Maybe what's that?
Dr. Lyon focuses on the physical stuff with aging.
Yes.
We've also talked about mental and emotional well-being.
Right.
Do you think there's a connection between the two?
That's such a great question.
Yeah.
And I think it deserves more attention.
Okay.
Dr. Lyon doesn't really go into the mental and emotional side.
Right.
But I think our physical and mental states are very connected. It makes you wonder, like, how being mentally resilient,
Yeah.
being able to bounce back from stress and all that
Right.
might actually impact our physical health
Yeah.
and how long we live.
It's a really good question.
We know that chronic stress can be really bad for us.
Oh, yeah.
It contributes to inflammation and all kinds of health problems.
Right.
So it would make sense
Yeah.
that if we learn how to manage stress,
Uh-huh.
build coping mechanisms,
Okay.
and stay positive,
Right.
that it could actually protect us.
Aw.
Not just mentally and emotionally,
Yeah. Yeah.
but physically too.
It's almost like having this buffer against the wear and tear of life.
Exactly. And that brings us back to what Dr. Lyon was saying
Yeah.
about this holistic approach.
Okay.
She doesn't really get into the mental and emotional stuff,
Right.
but her book really shows how connected our minds and bodies are.
Yeah.
It's not just about being physically strong. It's about that inner resilience too,
Right.
that strength that helps us through challenges.
So Forever Strong is about more than just muscles.
Right.
It's about building strength on all these different levels. It's
Yeah.
about having this foundation for a good life, one that's long and fulfilling and meaningful.
That's a great way to put it. It's about realizing that aging isn't just about decline.
Yeah.
It can be a time for growth and learning and even transformation.
And this book gives us the tools to do that.
It does.
I know for me, it's changed how I think about getting older.
Oh, wow. That's great.
I see muscle as like this key part of living longer and being healthy.
I agree.
And I want to make sure I'm taking care of myself.
Yeah, both physically and mentally.
And it's never too late to start.
No.
It doesn't matter if you're 30, 50, 70. You can still do things to get stronger and improve your health.
Exactly. And boost that resilience.
Well, I think that's a great place to end our deep dive into Forever Strong.
I agree.
We covered so much today.
We did.
The science of muscle, protein, inflammation, exercise, even that connection between mental and physical resilience.
It was a lot.
And I hope our listeners feel like they can take charge of their health.
Me too.
And really create a life with strength and purpose. As always, we encourage you to check out Dr. Lyon's book.
Yes, if you want to learn more.
It's a great roadmap for aging well.
It is.
And remember, aging well is a choice we make every single day.
That's true.
By investing in our health,
Yes.
both physically and mentally, we can really make a difference in our lives.
And even inspire the people around us.
So get out there, move your body, take care of your mind, and enjoy the journey.
I love that.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
Thanks for tuning into Chapter 2, where we break down the best books to fuel your growth and learning. If this book caught your interest, check out the links in the description to get the audiobook at no cost. Don't miss out and support our channel while you dive deeper into these life-changing reads. See you in the next episode.